All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, it is Tuesday, which means we are going to recap. It is the Silver and Bro Show, which means we're going to recap everything Raiders that happened on Sunday against the matchup against the Miami Dolphins, and looking forward to this Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. But first, I do want to start off with happy pre-Thanksgiving to everybody that celebrates it. Hopefully everybody has a good time with it. Enjoy your days off. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy your the food, football, family. Enjoy everything because life is precious. So you want to enjoy every minute that you can. Whoever you are going to be celebrating with. That's the first thing, and we'll go from there. So just a little bit though. Seeing that this is the week, this Sunday we'll play the Chiefs, and then the following week's a bye week. Unless something major happens, we will be back in 2 Tuesdays. So not next Tuesday, the following Tuesday. Only due to the fact that it's a bye week, and unless something happens, major wise, we will cover it. But we're going to talk about the Dolphins game, what went right, what went wrong, and then looking forward to the matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. So without further ado, here we go. The Raiders dropped a heartbreaker to the Miami Dolphins this past Sunday at Miami. It was a bag of mixed emotions, if you ask me. It was really how people felt, and it was just very bad. It was just a very bad, not bad, but it was just a big bag of emotions. And for one point, the positive thing is, the defense looks legit. It looks good. It looks ready. It's, credit to, Patrick Graham for doing what he did to hold that offense to 20 points, and that's what it was. And just unfortunately, our offense on the other side was non existent. We couldn't get the ball going. We had costly turnovers. We didn't take advantage of the turnovers that we created on defense, that they created on defense. Just a lot of bad, mixed match football. On one hand, you're happy of how the defense looks, and on the other hand, you're pretty disappointed on how the offense looked. Do I expect it to get better? Do I expect things to change? Absolutely. Absolutely. This new regime, the interim regime, has already kind of shown us that they're willing to take the next steps. They're willing to take the necessary steps to, make things right. I guess for me, if I were to describe that one game, if I were to describe the Miami game, it's just unfulfilling. It is a lot of unfulfilling. Just a lot of opportunities left on the table. A lot of coaching decisions that didn't. I'm not gonna say that didn't make sense, and because I guess you could look at it both ways. You can look at it that Antonio Pierce is confident in his offense. He's confident in the team to make the plays. But sometimes, as confident as you are, sometimes you have to take the points because, let's just play devil's advocate. Obviously, the game's over, but let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say instead of going in for those fourth downs, we send in the kicking unit, and let's say Daniel Carlson banks both in, and then same events happen, same everything happens. We get to the 39, and where we are, we have Carlson to kick another one, and at that point, it's really up to, who's to say, right? We can sit up here and say coulda, shoulda, woulda, but it's just sometimes that's my only negative on this. Is sometimes, as much as I love the confidence in Antonio Pierce with his guys, sometimes you just have to take the points when it's not there. And I think if he goes back and look at it, he would agree. Sometimes it is what it is, and it sucks because we gave the Dolphins a good fight, and we just didn't pull enough. We didn't have enough, and the running game obviously non-existent. It was terrible, just downright terrible. There was nothing great about it. There was nothing good about it. The offensive line couldn't create anything. Josh Jacobs kept he kept putting himself in trouble, and there was just nothing there. Excuse me. Even though it was cold. Okay. So, obviously, everybody loved Devontae Adams touchdown. But my biggest issues here, the running game couldn't get going. They couldn't create enough points on the turnovers. The defense did its job. We just didn't have enough. And it just shows you that we're not there yet. We got pieces in play. Sure, we have pieces in play, but we're not there yet as a team. Competitive, sure, we'll be that. Do we have the depth and the talent to win? I don't think so. I mean, the names sound nice, the players on the roster sound nice, but as clearly as shown, and listen, there's so much Aiden O'Connell can really do. I mean, he's a fourth round rookie. What more do you want? I mean, at that point, we just want to see if he can play in the NFL. And he has shown that, yes, he is an NFL quarterback. Is he a franchise quarterback? It's hard to tell after 3 games, but if I were a betting man, I would say no. I think he's a solid quarterback. I think he's a quarterback you would want if your starter goes down. And maybe if the team was somewhat complete, somewhat more, a little bit more competitive than what we have now, just somebody to go in there and hopefully not screw it up. And I think that's what we have in Aiden O'Connell, which is not a bad thing, not the worst thing in the world, because it's very hard to find a backup quarterback nowadays. Ask the quarterbacks that have fallen, that have been lost for the year, and ask the teams if they would want a backup quarterback, how desperate they want a backup quarterback. And for me personally, I just didn't like the fact. It's just for me. It really did irk me, the fact that we had a chance to win. We should have won. We didn't, and there was a lot of factor to it. The running game wasn't going. We didn't take the points, and like I said, it's a collective thing. It's really a collective thing. I don't know what more there is to it. Now, I want to point something out. I do want to point something out here where I think maybe it is time for a change. As good as the defensive side is, I think maybe it is time for a certain change. One, I don't have to tell you anymore. I think Marcus Peters, for me, I can't tell you how many games I've seen him now, and it's just brutal. It's not the same Marcus Peters, and that happens. Age happens, and a lot of stuff happens. For my money, if I'm Patrick Graham, I'm looking at this. I would just try to go with the young guys at this point. Whether it is Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, who we just got from New England, Jacorian Bennett, who we just drafted, Amik Robertson, who is there. I would try to roll with those guys. And honestly, I would move Marcus Peters, because we are going to have issues at the safety position now due to the neck injury of Marcus Epps. If Marcus Peters is up for it, maybe he could be a ball hawking safety, and maybe that could help. That could help. It's just not there at corner. It's just too many games now. The receiver catches the ball. He gets extra yardage, and he's afraid of contact. And that could be due to his injury. That could be due to a lot of things. Maybe his style of play, and it's going to be weird to say that, because it's going to be weird to say that because Marcus Peters, I know he's a caliber player, but I think, with the injuries at the safety, maybe it would be time to, and just a thought, see how he looks like as a safety. Just to see. And maybe we can add, just a little bit of depth. And who knows? Maybe it works out for him. We don't know. We won't know until we try, right? But, I think for the Raiders at this point, depending on how the season goes, I want to kind of see the development, because let's face it, do I believe that Marcus Peters comes back? I don't know. So that's why I would like to see a little bit more playing time for the younger guys that are going to be there for just a little bit longer, just to Obviously, Jacorian and Nate Hobbs are going to be there. Maybe Amik can come back, and Jack Jones, we just got him off the waiver wire. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I just think for me, I just want to see the younger guys get a little bit more snaps in. And it's not because I don't think Marcus Peters cannot play anymore. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not looking good. There's a couple tapes now where he's running away from contact, and that's not good. And I know it's going to sound weird that, well, why do you want to put him in a safety position? That's where you have to have contact. Not all the time. Maybe he's just a ball hawking safety, and that's okay. It's like Jonathan Abram. He just wanted contact all the time, but he was a terrible pass coverage. He was bad in pass coverage. So maybe he can help us out in the deep ball, and maybe especially with how the Chiefs are coming into town, maybe that could be a way to take away the deep ball. I don't know. Just a thought. Nothing bad to say about Marcus Peters. Just a thought of my evaluation of the team. Secondly, there has to be some changes within that offensive line. It's too late to make any changes right now. That's the line we're going to be, but there has to be some changes. There has to be some changes in this line. And me personally, I think if we were gonna run with it, losing Colton Miller is a huge loss. Losing Colton Miller was a huge loss. It's been a huge loss these last two games. It sucks when you lose your starting left tackle. But from reports today, he's practicing. He looks like he's trending in the right direction to go. So hopefully he plays this week, which would be we can use all the help we can against Kansas City. But for me, I think on the offensive line, I think it's just a matter of time. We have to try something because it's not working. It's not working. Would it have to be to the fact that maybe we push Illuminor inside and leave Thayer Munford at the right tackle, or do we have to maybe put Nate Moody out there, put Illuminor back at the right tackle spot? I don't know. But something does have to change for this team on the offensive line because there's no way of. And look, I'm very proud of Josh Jacobs for even the terrible year he's having. He's still in the top 10 for rushing yards, which is amazing. Thank you, Brandon. You know it, man. Go Raider Nation, man. Thank you, thank you. I'm very proud of how Jacobs is running, but you can clearly tell that offensive line is not the same as it was last year, and they need to do some changes, whether that's move Illuminor inside, leave Thayer Munford at the right tackle, put Colton at the left, or maybe it comes both ways. Maybe we put Dylan Parham, who's been our left guard, try him out at center. Looks like that's been the plan. See what he looks like at center. He did play center at Memphis a little bit. Put Nate Moody out there and do the same thing. But I just think there has to be some changes within this team, and it comes from the line. And second all, kudos to Malcolm Kuntz, who has been improving every single week. And I'm very happy he finally got the start. He got the start. He got a sack. I hope he can keep that production going, and it's because we're going to need that. We're going to need that. And, it sucks because that's what we drafted Tyree Wilson to do. But, he's non-existent. I hate to say it. He's been he was non-existent last week, and it sucks. It really does suck. But hopefully there's an opportunity for Malcolm Kuntz to show that, hey, maybe he should have been the starter the whole time, and hopefully he continues to improve. Max is doing his thing. The defensive tackles did a great job. There were, Robert Spillane, he had a dropped interception, good tackling. It's just, that secondary, they just need a little bit of help. I know it's kind of weird, and I know it's kind of, to put the rookie in a position, but maybe we should move him to the slot and Tell Marcus, hey, we're just gonna roll with Nate and Jack, and we're gonna try you at safety. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. And who knows? What if Marcus Peters finds a new? It's not like he would be the first corner to go to safety. That not just rejuvenated their careers, but gave them a little bit of extra life in the NFL. Rondé Barber, Charles Woodson, Rod Woodson. He wouldn't be the first. So it's not like, and I know we're comparing three Hall of Famers to a corner who's really good, but it wouldn't hurt to try. I mean, if it fails, then it fails, and at least he could say that he tried. So there's a lot of things that I think the team should think about before Kansas City. I think there's have to be some discussion somewhere. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. We'll just have to play it out by ear. But overall, I think for me, unfulfilling would be the Miami game. Yeah, there's no moral victories, and it feels good of how they played, but should have had it. Those points that we left on the board, there was about 9 points we left on the board. And again, I can't fault that. I can't fault an interim head coach and a rookie head coach going up against that secondary for Miami with Jalen Ramsey, Javon Holland. I can't be mad at them. It's just I can be mad at the fact that maybe we should have taken the points. As much as I love the confidence, maybe sometimes being smart and being confident are two totally different things. And I think that was a situation where maybe we should have just took the smart money that time and just took the points. But that's not here nor there. That game's over. Congratulations to Miami, on a good game. And I wish them the best the rest of the year. And now here we go. We're moving on to our third divisional game of the year. It is going to be against the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions. I know yesterday they lost a bittersweet. That was a bittersweet loss that the Chiefs felt, because that was such a down to the wire with everything. 3 drops on their last drive. That's 3 drops and intentional grounding on your last drive. That's a recipe for disaster. To kind of make sure that the other team has a chance. So it sucks, but that's not here nor there anymore either. The game's over, and now we move on. Let's face the facts. The Kansas City Chiefs own us. The Kansas City Chiefs own the Las Vegas Raiders. There's no secret to it. They will repeat it, that they own not only this decade, this century, the all-time. The Kansas City Chiefs own the Las Vegas Raiders. There's no other better way to put it than that. The Chiefs own the Raiders. That's it. Is there a chance that they can win? Sure. I think there's a chance. Everything would have to go right, but I think there is a chance. And it's going to take a lot. First thing is, we have to match with them offensively. We have to match up with them offensively. That Kansas City Chiefs defense is no joke. They're getting healthier. They're getting better. And that's sort of like the, Steve Spagnuolo, the Brian Flores school of defenses. It doesn't look good at first, and then it just keeps getting better and better and better as the season goes on. And I think we hit the point where, okay, this is actually a really good defense now. Chris Jones, Willie Gay, Trent McDuffie, just really good defensive players. Karlaftis, there's a lot of good players there. And hopefully we have to learn how to contain that. We have to contain that. The offensive line has to get ready for a dogfight this week. They have to. They have to put their best foot forward. They have to put their best bet. Our best bet, again, to ride with Jacobs and to slow and to control the clock, so that way the offense doesn't have enough time for themselves. That's the best way. And the way the Raiders' offensive line has been playing for the run game has been very bad, if I'm being generous. Just very bad. On the defensive side, they have to show out again. They have to show out again. They have to have another performance like they've been having the last 3 weeks, causing turnovers, getting important stops, not giving up the deep play. That they have to do that. They have to do that. They have to eliminate the penalties again. They have to get rid of the deep plays. They cannot give up a lot of deep plays again. They have to do that. They have to have another strong performance by the defense. That's what it's going to take to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, is there a situation where do I think that maybe there's a little bit of problems? Is there issues with the Kansas City offense? Sure. You know, clearly, their offense has 26 drops, which is the most in the league. It's not good. Obviously, like Peyton Manning said in that skit, what's so hard about it? I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, but apparently it's pretty hard in Kansas City right now. So, but can that change? Absolutely. Absolutely, it can change. When you have Patrick Mahomes, anything can change. Your fortunes can turn around very quickly when you got a quarterback like that. Lastly, we have to limit the turnovers ourselves. We have to limit that. We have to limit the turnovers, guys. Offensively, we just got to limit the turnovers, get the running game going. Everything else would open. Everything will clear itself out. You got to get Michael Mayer involved as soon as you can. And on the defensive side, you just got to be in Patrick Mahomes' face all day. You have to. You have no choice. It has to be done. That's the only way the Raiders have any chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to create the pressure on defense, and they have to be mistake-free offensively. So I think it's going to be a fun game. I think it's always fun. It'll be here in Allegiant, and obviously, being that it's Thanksgiving weekend, I don't think these two fan bases are thankful for each other anyway. So that's what makes it more funny. But I think that's the key to the games for this week. Offensively, limit the turnovers, get the running game going. Just pick your battles. Pick your battles. Make the right reads. Pick your battles when you're throwing the ball. Know your assignment. And defensively, whatever they've been doing the last 3 weeks, keep doing it. Keep doing it, because I don't know what it is. The fact that they've only given up, what is it, since Antonio Pierce took over, or what is it now? They've only given up 38, right? Yeah, 38 points in these last 3 games, which is close to like 13, points per game. That's pretty good. That means you have a shot of winning. And that's what the offense has to take over. If the defense creates a turnover, we can't give the ball back. We have to score points. And I'm not talking about field goals either. I'm talking about touchdowns. If you create turnovers and you score touchdowns, chances are you're probably going to win the game. So for me, that's what it's all going to be about. The defense has to keep playing like they've been playing the last 3 weeks, which is a tough task against the Kansas City Chiefs because they've had our way for a while. And then you have offense, you have to just be mistake-free. Pick your battles, open up the lanes, get the running game going. And I'm not saying that you're guaranteed a victory, but I will say this. I'm pretty sure they're getting tired of getting embarrassed by Kansas City every year. They need to get something going. They have to get something going. So I think it's going to be a fun one. It's always fun. And then I will be at the stadium. I will be at the Torch. So any Raider fan that does get this, you're more than welcome to say hi to me. I will be the one in the mask. I dress up as the Grim Reaper. So if you do see me at the Torch, just say hi. How you doing? I love interacting with you guys. You guys are so cool. Thank you very much for the support that you guys have been giving me. But that's going to do it for today's show. So like I said, this week is Kansas City. The following week is a bye week. So unless anything happens where it's breaking news, we sign somebody, Antonio Pierce becomes the new head coach. Something major has to happen. Like something really major has to happen for next Tuesday. But if nothing does happen, where we sign a player that hit the waiver like Leonard today or something like that, then I'll get on. But for right now, what it's gonna be game on Sunday, off next Tuesday, next Wednesday. Well, tomorrow and next Wednesday, me and Brandon, we will be doing our Silver and Bro show where we predict our games, who we think is going to win for Week 12, and then we'll go from there. But other than that, that is it. So I want to thank you guys for allowing me to do this. I always enjoy bringing you this content. It's always fun. Um, if anything, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family, enjoy the time with your loved ones, however you're going to spend it. Just the only thing is be safe out there. It's there's no such thing as, anything, as no risk there is. So just be careful in what you're doing. And then we will see you guys hopefully Tuesday if something happens. If not, 2 weeks from now. So until then, everybody, please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other. And always cheer from Las Vegas. You can always catch our Raider videos here on YouTube at the Jack's Wild Sports Show or on Instagram Live at the All Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you very much and have yourself a wonderful night and go Raiders.